The series starts with unemployed gamer Arisu and his friends finding themselves in a parallel universe right in the middle of the day. One moment there are literally thousands of people in and around Shibuya Crossing, and in the next, they are the only people to be found for literal miles on end. However, their fear of being left alone in the world is quickly met with shock and fear when they realize that they aren't, in fact, alone in the world. Unfortunately for them, they have been transported to a world where they have to play death games with others to move on to the next round and survive. As they make their way through this strange new world, they get a taste of what their future holds for them. The first game they enter has a difficulty of 3 of clubs, and there they meet 2 other players. It's a bit confusing at first, but when they finally play the game, they realize that it's not a joking matter and that death is too close for comfort if they don't give it their all. However, Arisa's knowledge of games helps the team not die in the first round itself, and apart from Chota's leg burn, they all move on to another horrible game. However, with an expired visa on their heads, the team cannot celebrate their win for too long. And after playing a brutal game of tag and then a game of hearts, Arisu loses his last connection to his old life as both of his friends sacrifice themselves to let him win and live. With hopelessness looming large, Arisu eventually finds himself after he meets Usagi, and the two play a deadly game of endurance on an underground highway. After they leave that alive, the two find themselves going to the beach, where hundreds of people gather to party all day and game at night. Their leader, the Hatter, thinks that if you collect all the cards and complete a deck, then you can go back home. However, his reign isn't sitting well with everyone around him, and eventually, he gets killed off by a rival militant group whose leader proclaims himself as the leader. Unfortunately for those at the beach, their safe haven becomes a game arena when the tension reaches a high, and the inhabitants must play a deadly game of finding out who killed another resident, who turns up dead. Although the militants start straight up murdering everyone on sight, Arisa figures out that the girl who died actually killed herself. Alice in Borderland Season 1 ending. Arisa soon figures out that the dead girl from the beach is actually working with the game developers and uses her phone to go to their headquarters. Once there, however, they are met with former friends who betrayed them previously, Shishiya and Kuina. The headquarters itself is filled with dead bodies of those who were controlling the games thus far, and before things get too heated between the two groups, the Hatter's most trusted advisor, Mira, appears on the huge screens in the room and congratulates them for murdering their closest friends and allies. The last scene is of several flying banners carried in the sky with images of the highly sought-after cards.